Guess it's not sleepy time yet. I don't know. That sucks. I hate not being able to sleep. I got a handle on my sleeping lately, but I just got this new game and I was playing it too much the last couple of days. And it's called Supreme Commander. It's a lot of fun. It's really too much fun, you know. Thought I would continue my last one, which is just weird stuff. I had it's crazy. I had a couple of reoccurring dreams that since I was a kid, I would have these crazy reoccurring dreams, and mostly it was like zombies were chasing me. This is a weird thing. I remember being like a G.I. Joe, you know, like a soldier, and we were in some kind of dusty, almost looked like Afghanistan or something. We're fighting it out. We're all hunkered down behind things, you know, getting cover and shooting at the enemy. I don't even know who we're fighting. It's just, you never do in a war, right? Just fighting somebody. And then all of a sudden, it changed. Like, the fighting stopped because zombies started to push their way out of the ground. Like, they were pretty strong. Like, you know, thinking back now, I'm like, it's pretty hard for a person to force their way through the dirt if they're underneath, but these guys were doing it. I remember hiding under something. I put something over me to hide, like a box, like a cardboard box I found, and I could feel the earth being disturbed, you know, left and right of me because the zombies were coming on. I had this dream, I don't know how many times. It's been a lot. I usually have revolving dreams of being chased by some kind of monster, like some kind of, it's usually undead. I don't know why. I'm scared of the damn dirty undead to get me. And reoccurring, like I've had them like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, and that's only the times that I can remember. It could have been more than that. I've had dreams happen where they come true too. I remember this dream, like when it happens, when you actually have a dream happen that comes true, you don't think of it. I remember being in my aunt's kitchen, and my uncle's wife, who's also my aunt, but you know, through marriage, said she was pregnant, and her first daughter was on the ground scribbling with crayons, and it happened like word for word. I don't know how many years later, probably about 5 or 6 years later. I remember having it when I was about 6, maybe 7, something like that. And then it came true when I was like, I don't know, 11, 12, something just fucked up. There's that, and there was something else I was going to say too, some other weird thing that happened to me. I play a lot of games. Games are a very big part of my life because it's a hobby and I love it. And it's weird because I was into this game, Warcraft. Not Warcraft, World of Warcraft. I mean just Warcraft 3. Played it a lot, and I had a recurring. Well, I think it happened once that I can remember, but it's probably happened more than that. Where I'm sitting here doing something, I'm looking at a screen, and I see a bunch of shit, and I don't know what's going on. And I turn to a buddy of mine, and I talk to him. I see his face, but I don't recognize him because I don't know him. Right? None of this makes sense. And then it actually happened where I'm playing games with my buddy Devin, who was my roommate at the time, and I went to turn and say something to him, and everything just clicked. Like I looked at the screen, I saw the little buildings and little units, and then when I turned to say something to him, I was like, I know you. It all came true perfectly. It's a really stupid thing to waste. Like, I know, why couldn't it have been like the lottery or something, you know, cool? But it's almost like your sleep time and your real life will intersect sometimes. Sometimes they, you know, I think it's like depending on your age. Usually when you're younger, it intersects a lot. Then as you get older, it intersects less and less. Like reality pulls you out of your whatever the dream world you are. It pulls you more and more out. So that, and most of the time, your real life will kind of sink into your dream world. So, but when you're a kid, it's not the way. I mean, you're just kind of, you know, fumbling through life. Hey, what's this? Ow, I fell down and hurt myself. I have to go to sleep. You know, I'm cranky. You know, it's just you don't think about things, right? But when real life sinks in, man, sometimes you can't even sleep because you're so worried about your real life shit. It sucks. There was something else too I was going to say. It was, here's a good story. I was hanging out with a buddy of mine, Sean, and his brother Dave and Mike. We went out to this cottage out in Shediac, and we sat on the porch just talking about, you know, philosophical stuff and life. And I wasn't very smart at life and, you know, philosophy back then. I was thinking about joining the army, and then my buddy Sean said, well, why do you want to join the army? And then I was like, well, I want to defend my country. And then he's like, from who? And I'm like, just whoever wants to attack it. And they're like, nobody attacks Canada. You know, I didn't quite get it at the time, but you can't, you know, Iraq's not going to come over on boats attacking the U.S. It will never happen. Anyway, he's just trying to get me to see that it's all just, you know, a machine. Like, don't become part of the machine, that type of thing. So I was like, wow, that's pretty neat. I feel very enlightened now, you know. It's cool. So we had a good night, you know, a little bit of red wine and some cookies, and I think we were taking care of somebody's cottage. So we go in, and we're sitting on the porch at first, and we're just looking at the stars. There's a zillion stars, and they're just, you know, a lot of shit happening in the sky. It was really neat. So we go in, and it's getting late, and we go into the cottage, and we were joking around. I think we were making fun of the devil or something. Like, we were, you know, we got into different types of jokes, and we got on devil jokes, and we started making jokes about, you know, oh, he sucks, and all this other shit. And all of a sudden, something really weird started to happen. Like, we could hear, it's almost like a choir of people singing, like girls' voices, kind of high-pitched and really scary sounding. And it was really faint. We're like, where's that coming from? And the floor felt like it started to sink. It's almost like the boards turned to mush for a couple minutes. We all felt ourselves like sinking, and we just all freaked out. And the singing got really loud. We had to run out of there. Something fucking weird was going on. We ran out of there and, you know, drove the fuck back to Moncton and hung out in the parking lot and threw cookies at seagulls until we got really tired and decided to call it a night. Doesn't make any sense, does it? Like, the fuck was that? And it wasn't like, I think Sean to this day still thinks that it was just a mass hallucination. But how do 4 or 5 people have that same hallucination? You know, doesn't that qualify it as not being hallucination? You know, I don't know. I just figured it's just one of those weird things that just happen. Pretty sure I got some more too, but I'm pretty tired. I don't know. I think we'll leave it for another time then, maybe.